I don't know why you're here right now, but if you're hearing this, it's because this story is meant to heal something inside you. Something you've been carrying alone for too long. This isn't just a video. This is a moment of emotional healing. A moment that can bring light back into the places you stopped looking. So, stay until the end, because this might be the moment your heart finally breathes again. I don't know why you are here right now, but if you are hearing this, it is because this story is meant to heal something inside you, something you have been carrying alone for far too long. This is not just a video. This is a moment, a quiet moment that might bring light back into the places you stopped looking. So, stay with me, because what happens now may be exactly what your heart has been waiting for. In a busy city where thousands of people rushed past each other, every single day there was one corner that seemed untouched by time. On that corner sat an old homeless man, always in the same spot, holding the same sign, a sign that confused many, because it did not say "I need money." It did not say "I am hungry." Simply said, "I don't need money. I need to see kindness." People walked by pretending not to notice. Some glanced and quickly looked away. Others judged silently inside their minds. But few, very few, ever stopped long enough to understand the weight of those words. Day after day, the old man remained there, quiet, unmoving, like a forgotten part of the city, a shadow woven into the noise and the concrete. But even shadows hold stories, even silence carries truth. And though most would never know it, the man was waiting. Wait, not for food or coins, but for one person who would look beyond what the eyes usually see. That person arrived on an ordinary afternoon. Her name was Anna. She was walking home from work, tired, worn out from the week, but still carrying a gentleness inside her that life had not managed to steal. She lived simply, earned just enough to get by, but she had a heart that looked for the good in people, even when the world tried to hide it. That day, as she passed the corner, she felt something, a small pull inside her. A whisper saying, "Stop here." Anna slowed down, not out of pity, but out of something deeper, something human. She approached the old man, her footsteps soft as if she were entering a sacred place. She knelt in front of him, her hands holding a small bag of food, and when she spoke, her voice had a warmth that wrapped around the cold air around them. "Hi, sir, I brought you something to eat." Her words were simple, but they carried a tenderness that could break stone. The old man lifted his head, and their eyes met. His eyes were deep, worn by years of loneliness and unanswered questions. But behind all that, there was a flicker, a spark. Like he recognized something in her, something the world rarely offered anymore. Anna handed him the food, but she offered something far more important. She offered presence. She sat beside him, not rushing, not afraid, and began to talk. She spoke about her long day, about the people at work, about the moments she felt tired but still held on to hope. The old man listened gently, as if her voice filled places in him that had been empty for years. And as they talked, something began to shift around them, almost unnoticed. The noise of the city seemed to soften, as if giving space to that small moment of human connection. And in that space, something ancient woke up. The truth that kindness is never small and never lost, it just waits to be seen. And neither of them knew it yet, but that simple act was about to change everything. Anna sat beside the old man, letting the city flow around them like a river that no longer touched their quiet shore. She listened to him breathe slowly, as if each breath carried years of stories pressed deep inside his chest. And he looked at her with a softness that did not belong to this world. She placed the warm food in his hands, and he held it gently, almost reverently, as though it was not food, but a reminder that he still mattered. She spoke again, her voice calm, carrying a warmth that wrapped around them like a blanket. "I don't know your name," she said. Quietly, he looked down for a moment, then back at her, and whispered a name. So soft, she almost didn't hear it, and then he smiled. A small, tired smile that seemed to break open a hidden light inside him. She stayed there longer than she planned, telling him about her long week, and about the things she hoped for, even if they were small hopes, like better mornings and easier days. And he listened as if every word she said was a gift. She did not know why, but sitting there felt right, like she was exactly where she was supposed to be. The city kept moving. People walked past with bags and phones and hurried thoughts, but some slowed down just enough to notice something unusual happening, a moment that was gentler than the world around it. A woman crossed the street holding a cup of tea and hesitated before leaving it beside the old man. A young man walking home from school removed his scarf and placed it on the edge of the bench. A child tugged her mother's sleeve, pointing with wide eyes at the scene, as if seeing kindness for the first time. Slowly, the corner began to shift like a place waking from a long sleep, becoming warm, becoming human again. The old man looked at Anna with eyes that seemed to carry gratitude too big for words, and he whispered, "Thank you, my daughter." The way he said it made something in her chest tighten, a feeling like recognition, but she didn't know from where. She blinked, trying to understand the sudden heaviness in the air, like something sacred was about to happen. And then it did. Anna blinked only once, a soft blink, the kind you do when dust touches your eye. And when she opened her eyes again, the old man was gone, not walking away, not standing. Upgone, the bench was empty. The corner stilled, the food still warm in the air. The scarf unmoved, the tea untouched, but the man was no longer there. She froze, unable to breathe, unable to understand. And slowly, her eyes moved down to the bench. There, lying where he had been sitting, was a folded note, small and light, as if placed there by the wind. Her hands shook as she reached for it, and for a moment, she felt something like warmth brushing her fingertips, as though someone unseen had just touched her. The world around her softened. The street noise muted, the sunlight shifted, and everything stood still as she opened the note. And that was when she saw the words. And those words were about to change her life forever. Anna held the small folded note in her trembling hands, the world around her fading into a distant hum, as if every sound had stepped back to let this moment breathe. She opened it slowly, afraid that even the wind might tear it. The paper was simple, worn like something carried through time itself. Inside, the handwriting was gentle, steady, written with a calm that did not match the chaos of the city around her. The note read, "Thank you, my daughter. Today, humanity was saved. Because of you. Signed, God." She read it once, then again, then a third time, each reading sinking deeper into her chest. Her breath grew unsteady, as if her heart was trying to understand something her mind could not grasp. She whispered the words to herself, unable to believe what her eyes were seeing. Humanity was saved because of you, signed, God. Her eyes burned, tears forming not from sadness, but from something older and softer, something like truth. She felt suddenly small and enormous at the same time, like she had stepped into a story far greater than her own. Around her, people began to gather, drawn not by noise, but by a feeling, the kind of quiet that makes strangers stop and listen. A woman asked softly, "Where'd he go?" A man looked around, confused, A child stood close to Anna, peeking up at her with wondering eyes. Anna lifted the note slightly, as if showing proof of something. Impossible yet real, she looked around, searching for him, searching for any sign. Shadow! A footprint, a trace, but nothing remained, except the scarf, the cup of tea, and the warmth in the air that should not have been there. She placed her hand on the bench, feeling the place where he had sat moments earlier, and it felt like touching something holy, something that had passed through her life like a whisper from another world. More people approached, some curious, some confused, but when they saw the expression on Anna's face, they fell silent, as if they sensed something greater than explanation. She stood slowly, her knees weak, but her heart strangely steady inside. Her the note weighed nothing and everything. At the same time, someone asked her what it said, and she read it aloud, her voice shaking as she spoke. The words, "Thank you, my daughter, today. Humanity was saved because of you. Signed, God." The street grew impossibly quiet. Every car, every step, every distant sound seemed to pause for a breath. The people stood around her, listening as if they had heard something sacred, something that called them back to the goodness they had forgotten. Anna felt the warmth again, not around her, but inside her. A gentle glow spreading through her chest, like someone had struck a match in the dark. She looked at the scarf, then at the tea, then at the empty space beside her, and for the first time she understood that kindness had not only been seen but answered. She closed the note carefully, holding it to her heart as if afraid it might disappear. Like the old man had, the edges of the world seemed brighter, sharper, more alive than before. She could feel the change happening inside her, like a door opening slowly, letting light spill into places she had hidden from for too long. And she knew this moment was not only meant for her, it was meant for everyone who had forgotten that even one small act of kindness could echo through the world. And that echo was only beginning. Anna walked home, holding the note against her chest as if it were a living heartbeat. The city around her looked the same, but felt completely different. Every light seemed softer, every sound gentler. Every person she passed seemed wrapped in a quiet possibility. She felt as if she were moving through a layer of the world she had never noticed before, a layer made of meaning and connection and things the eyes cannot see when the heart is tired. When she reached her small apartment, she sat on the edge of a bed, still holding the note, still feeling that warmth in her chest. She read the words again and again, and each time they seemed to whisper something new, a reminder, a calling, a truth she had forgotten. Humanity was saved because of you. The next morning, Anna returned to the corner, not certain of what she hoped to find, but knowing she needed to be there. The bench was empty, the air was still, but something remained, an imprint in the world, a feeling that kindness had opened a door, and that door had not closed. Some people who had witnessed the moment came to without planning, without talking about it. They simply felt drawn there, as if the city itself had decided that this was now a place where hearts should gather. A woman brought a small bouquet of flowers, a man brought blankets, a child placed a drawing of an old man with bright, warm eyes, and under it wrote, "Kindness lives here." Anna sat on the bench and felt tears come, not heavy tears, but soft ones, warm ones, the kind that heal. She realized that her life had shifted in a way she could not explain, but also in a way she did not want to undo. She felt lighter but stronger. She felt smaller but deeply connected to something greater. Days passed, and Anna began noticing changes everywhere. Small changes, but powerful ones. Neighbors greeting each other, strangers stopping to help someone with heavy bags, People offering food, clothes, or simply a smile. Where before, there had been only silence. The corner that once felt forgotten now felt alive, filled with a quiet reverence, as if everyone understood that something divine had passed through that space. Anna volunteered at shelters and community groups, not because she felt obligated, but because she felt called. The note stayed with her, always tucked in her bag. Close to her heart, she read it when the days felt heavy or when the world felt cold. And each time, it reminded her that kindness was not a gesture. It was a force, a seed, a miracle waiting for a place to grow. And she learned something she had never fully understood before. Kindness does not just change the person who receives it, it transforms the person who gives it. It transforms the space where it happens. And sometimes, if the world is quiet enough, it echoes far beyond what our eyes can see. Weeks later, Anna returned again to the corner, sitting quietly, watching people pass by, watching them slow down, watching them notice life with softer eyes. And she felt a presence beside her, not seen, not heard, but felt like a warm breath on a cold morning. And she knew she was not alone as she whispered, "Thank you," not to the old man, not to herself, but to something larger, something loving, something divine that had woven that moment into her life. And in that quiet moment, she understood that the note had never been only for her. It had been for the world. If you watched until here, and if faith still lives inside your heart, call men. I have faith, because sometimes saying it out loud is the first step toward healing.